I assume that you already know how to teach science, but you want to know how to teach science online. I've discovered the best approach to do this, that not only helps you teach more effectively, but will actually serve as your marketing tool as well. So what this does is it helps people learn and retain the things that you're teaching better, and all the people around the world who've never heard of you before but want to learn science online will find you and see you as their instructor. Right off the bat, I'm going to show you several examples of successful science YouTube channels. Then I'm going to dive into a strategy that if you implement, it will help you get off to a much faster start than these channels did. We're going to talk about the best structure of your video to keep people's attention. We're going to talk about how to prepare so you can do so quickly and efficiently. And then I'm going to wrap up with my strategy on how you can put these videos on YouTube and make sure that a lot of people are finding them, that you're getting a lot of views on your videos. Let's dive right in. I make hundreds of educational videos every month on YouTube. This is my expertise, and I help lots of other educators do the same. In fact, many of them are doing extremely well financially. Several of them are making six figures every month, and we follow this exact strategy. I've got 4 examples of science channels that I really enjoy, that I watch a lot of and my kids like. So the first one I want to show you is Veritasium. This guy's name is Derek Muller, and he makes lots of awesome videos about science. In fact, his is the first channel that I started studying when I wanted to learn how to YouTube correctly, how to make money on YouTube. I learned how he made money on YouTube. So I recommend checking out his channel and seeing how he makes them. The thing that I like is he films his videos on location, and he travels and he interviews people and he asks people questions on the street to see if they have any misconceptions that he can then correct in the video. The next channel I want to show you is Smarter Every Day. Now this guy, he's a physicist, and he loves doing experiments. He loves doing crazy experiments. A couple months ago, you'll see this video here, world's fastest pitch supersonic baseball cannon. So he really did make a cannon. He showed you how he did this and how they got a baseball to fly faster than the sound barrier. Well, the video that he just launched yesterday, he launched it at these punching dummy things, and then he set up a series of mitts. He set up like 9 of them to see how many mitts it would take to stop the ball. Go watch it. I almost gave it away, but you got to go see how that one turned out. Anyway, it's science but made fun. Another one I want to show you, this is more like MacGyver type science. They're just doing experiments, even more so than the last one I showed you. It's called King of Random. This was started by my friend who passed away, Grant Thompson, but the legacy of the channel is carrying on with this crew up here. Check out the fun that they have on their channel and see if this might be the type of science channel you want to create. Now, you might already know who Steve Spangler is. He's been on YouTube since like 2005 or something like that. He's got several different channels, but he does all different types of science experiments and really teaching people about science. He's on Ellen and lots of other TV shows. So here's one that you definitely want to study. And I've got one more that I want to show you. Mark Rober. When he puts out a video, he goes all out. I mean, they did an experiment to see if sharks really could tell human blood from fish blood and other things. And then they did another experiment where he got down in a shark cage and released fish blood around him because they found out that they don't like human blood. And sharks came, and it was crazy. There's a video that you've probably seen on his channel. He got tired of people stealing packages off of his porch, and so he made a package that when people opened it, it would film them the whole time, by the way. When they opened it, it sprayed glitter. So it was like a glitter bomb in their car or in their house. And then there was fart spray so that it stunk up the place. And he recorded that, and he made a video showing all the reactions. So this guy used to be a NASA scientist. He helped build the rover that is on Mars right now. And now he makes YouTube videos teaching science. So here's an overview of the strategy. All around the world, there are people right this moment going to Google and YouTube and typing in science questions. They're asking things that you're the perfect person to answer. But right now, they don't know who you are. They don't know that you exist. And so what this strategy does is it puts you right in front of those people. We make how-to videos that answer the very, very specific questions that they're asking. So they type in a really long, specific question. Your video pops right up in front of them. And of course, it's exactly what they're searching for. So they click on it and they watch it all the way to the end, And YouTube sees that. The YouTube algorithm is like, wow, this is awesome. This video got viewed all the way to the end. Let's suggest this video to more and more people. So that's the tactical side of it. But think of it from the learner, okay? They wanted to know something. They go to Google or YouTube and they type it in and they find your video. So now in the course of the video, they see you. When you're looking into the lens, they're making eye contact with you and they start to build a relationship with you because you're giving them value and they really appreciate it. After they've watched the first episode, they're probably going to watch another episode of yours and eventually they're going to find out that you offer services. That's when they end up on your website and that's when they hire you or buy things from you. Okay, what I'm going to share with you now will make all the difference in making sure that your channel gets off to a faster start than the channels that I've already shown you. And also, let me tell you this, if you follow what I'm going to teach you now, your channel will be far more profitable. Years ago when I was having a conversation with Grant Thompson, the founder of the King of Random channel, he told me his revenue numbers and we were comparing it to the revenue numbers of another channel that was about 1/20th the size of his. Okay, our revenues were double Grant's and yet we had a channel 1/20th the size. So this is what makes the difference. Okay, what we're looking at here is the keyword magic tool. It's on a website called semrush.com. They have a lot of tools, but this is the only one that I use. So what we need to type in here, I mean, I could type in the word science, maybe we'll start there. What do we want to teach? Do we want to teach like biology, or do we want to teach earth science, or do we want to teach physics or something like that? Maybe we want to like do a light experiment or something like that. Let me just type in light experiment. So first you're going to see a lot of different phrases about light experiment, but what I'm going to do is hit this button right here, questions. I want to find what questions people are asking about light experiments. And right off the bat, okay, I'm going to turn on one more filter that I'm already seeing is not needed here, but it's something that I always turn on and I don't want you to miss it. Word count, I want there to be 8 words or more. That's my default. Sometimes I can adjust that. I'm going to apply that, but I saw most of them had more than 8 words anyway. How to light a bulb with a potato experiment. Or what colors absorb the most light, science experiment. How to control light intensity in an experiment, right? So I like all 3 of these. I would just go down through the list and, do heavier objects fall faster than lighter objects? Maybe that would be a fun episode. So I'd go through and I would check every single one that I like. Some searches that you do, you're going to have to comb through it and just find one here and there because I took a moment to think about it. If you do a search for science, there's going to be plenty of things that aren't really related to what you want to teach. But once you've selected all the ones that you want, you just come over here and hit export and it sends you the spreadsheet. Now, I personally love using Google Docs. I like having my docs online that my team can access. We can all edit them in real time. So after I open up this doc that I just downloaded, I'll copy. So I just put that in my clipboard and I would take it over to my Google Doc and I would paste it right there and just organize it in a nice way. What I just shared with you is gold, and I hope you recognize that. There are 2 huge advantages that are going to come from using this keyword magic tool. The first advantage is you're not going to run out of ideas. Just going into this tool and doing searches, you're going to find more and more ideas that you can make individual episodes about. The other advantage, and this is the key, this is the gold, this is why you have to do the keyword research before you film or before you plan out your content. Okay, you're going to find the questions that people are actually searching for. Let me come back to the screen here. So when people go to Google and YouTube, they're typing in these exact words, how to light a bulb with a potato experiment. When they type that in and they see that the title of your video is that exact title, they're like, wow, that's exactly what I was searching for. They hit it and they play it. They watch it all the way to the end because it's exactly what they wanted. The YouTube algorithm sees that and says, ooh, this is a valuable video. Let's send this video to more people like the people that just watched this. Now you'll notice this number right here, 90 people per month. I mean, how many words are in this phrase? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's a 9-word phrase. 9 words. That's a 9-word phrase. And yet, even as long as it is, there are 90 people typing in that exact phrase every single month. We don't need huge numbers. Most of the time when you're learning about keywords or keyword research or SEO or something like that, they want you to go after a really big phrase, but the really big phrases have really high competition. And by big phrase, I mean like big views, like 10,000 or 100,000 searches per month. In this case, this is a smaller number, but it's a really long and specific phrase. Here's the advantage to you. You make a video with that title, you put it on YouTube, you instantly rank. You're instantly number one. You've eliminated all your competition. And all you need is a trickle of traffic. And YouTube will start to promote you to more and more audiences, and you will get the thousands and the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of views. Now hold on just a minute. I just noticed that you haven't subscribed yet. So there's a red button. Go ahead and click that red button and subscribe to this channel. And then right next to it, there's a bell. Click that button as well. That turns on alerts so that each time I upload a new episode, you'll get an email from YouTube and you won't miss a thing. Once I have the titles selected, the list of videos that I want to film, and I'm ready to prepare the content, I use the same outline every time. This is what the outline looks like. I've got my title. I can make notes about my intro if there's anything I want to say specifically in the intro. I remind myself to give content hooks. Then I have several bullet points where I can just put the talking points of things that I want to talk about throughout the video. What I want to talk about first, second, third. I might end with a story. And then I always have a very specific call to action, whether I'm recommending the video that they should watch next or the lead magnet, the free gift that they can get by clicking the link below. Now, we already talked about your titles. Remember, this is probably an 8 or a 9 word phrase. That's what your title is. In your intro, you're basically reading the title to them and then telling them why it's important. So, hey, in this video, we're going to talk about this long sentence. I've been doing this for years, or this is really going to change your life, right? So something profound, something that's a why of why they need to watch this 10-minute episode. We're going to talk about the content hooks in a minute because we need to have the content prepared first. One way that you can think about it is in time. Like, I'm going to spend a minute here, then I'm going to spend a minute here. I'm going to share a story. Maybe that's 2 minutes. I've got another minute here, and I've got another minute here. You'll know the time as you go along. Now, when you prepare it this way, you don't want to memorize it and on filming day try and remember all bullet points, because guess what? You can pause. I'm pausing a whole bunch while recording this video, but I know that my editors will just edit out those pauses. And what I have all my clients do is they do point number 1. They look at their notes, and then they come and they look into the camera and they deliver point number 1. They might talk for 1 minute, 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, and then they finish point number 1. Then they come back, they look at their notes. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about next. Then they come back to the camera and they deliver point number 2. They're not thinking about what point number 3 is. In fact, we want them to intentionally pause after they're done talking about point number 2. They come back to their notes, they look at point number 3 and they say, oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about next. They look at the lens of the camera and they deliver point 3. This is the best way to prepare your content because, one, it's simple. You're not writing out a lengthy script that might take you a couple of hours to prepare for one video. Now you can just bullet point the talking points in maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and that episode is prepared. And you can take the burden off your shoulders of having to memorize all this content because you've just got memory joggers. I'm going to talk about this first, then I'm going to talk about this second. And you're going to pause between each one. How do you start your episode? What do you say right at the very beginning? Well, there's 2 things that you always want to include. You want to say what the video is about and why they should watch. Okay, so let me demonstrate. One of the titles I found is how to convert liquid nitrogen to gaseous nitrogen. That question actually has consistent search volume every single month. And to me, it seems pretty simple, but there's a lot of fun things that you can do as it converts from liquid to gas. I'm sure you know a lot more, or maybe you know some things of how to do it rapidly, but if I were making this episode, here's how I might start it out. Would you like to know how to convert liquid nitrogen to gaseous nitrogen? There's actually several ways that you can do this, and some of them are a lot of fun, so that's what we're going to do in this episode. So I found another one. The title is How to Light a Bulb with a Potato Experiment. That exact phrase has very consistent search volume every month, so that would be the exact title of your video. And here's what I might say if I were starting that episode. Have you ever seen those experiments where they can turn on a light bulb with a potato? Well, it actually works, and it's amazing. So in this episode, I'm going to show you how to light a bulb with a potato. After you've done your intro and the little opener has played, your little branding piece that's 6 or 8 seconds long, then comes the content. And you want to start out your content with content hooks. So I want to demonstrate how not to do it and then a better way to do it. So on the outline here, I'm going to just demonstrate with this title, How to Get Rid of Strep Throat Without Antibiotics. Now, Doreen Spackman, she's the expert on this topic. She taught it to me I've used the remedy many times, so I'm going to pretend that that's my expertise, okay? And here's my outline. You notice I've got 3 words or 1 word or 2 words, okay? Very simple outline. I've got 6 different points that I'm going to cover in the video. First, let me demonstrate how not to do the content hooks. All right, as we dive into this topic of how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, really you just need 3 ingredients. If you go grab some garlic, some cayenne pepper, and some raw honey, and you mix that together, you take that, it will wipe out your strep throat. I just gave away the whole episode, right? Why are people gonna need to watch longer? Or maybe they don't believe me. Maybe they think, oh, that sounds too good to be true. Let me go find a better video. Or maybe they do believe me and they go leave to see if they have those ingredients in their kitchen. Who knows, but they're certainly not gonna stick around for the full episode. So here is a second attempt, and I'm gonna set some content hooks that create curiosity. All right, as we dive into this topic of how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, first, we're going to talk about why not antibiotics. And there's some good reasons why you might want to consider an alternative. Then there are 3 ingredients. We're going to talk about each one and how each one is a natural antibacterial and a natural antiviral. It's amazing stuff. Then we're going to go to the kitchen. I'm going to show you how to prepare this and how to take it, dosage and whatnot. And then I'm going to wrap up with a story. My son, when he was really young, he had a high fever, he had strep throat, and we used this remedy. He also experienced a side effect that you're going to want to know about because you're probably going to experience this side effect as well. All right, let's dive in. Okay, do you see what I did there? Do you see the difference in the first example and the second one? Hopefully you see how the second one really would create a lot of curiosity and didn't give away the secrets. The whole goal is to create curiosity and help them think, wow, this is an amazing video. I'm excited to spend the next 10 or 12 minutes watching this episode. Now let's talk about the end of the video. You want to have a call to action if you want your channel to be profitable, right? If you want to make revenue or you want to have customers or clients, you need to ask them to do something. But it's actually easier than you might think. You don't have to sell them anything at this video, which would kind of be weird when it's an educational video, right? You're giving away information for free, and then at the end you're trying to sell them something. Nope, we don't have to worry about that. Give them a free gift. Okay, so you might say something like this. Hey, now that you've learned how to do A, B, and C, I want to give you a free copy of my book. I go way more in depth on this topic, and if you click the link below and you just cover the shipping costs, I'll send you the book for free. That type of a call to action or that type of a lead magnet, the gift that you give away is called a lead magnet because it attracts leads. That can be really effective because in order for them to pay the shipping costs, they need to give you their name, their phone number, their address, their email, and they're paying a few dollars so you know that they're committed. So it's a high quality lead and you get a lot more of their contact information. As a heads up, the lead magnet that I'm going to give away to you for watching this episode is my Influencer Almanac. It's a digital piece that has a lot of valuable information in there, but there's no cost at all. You just get it for free because I don't have to ship it out to you. I can just email you the link. Another thing that I want to talk about call to action is engagement. You can ask people to do things like, hey, remember to subscribe. Did you notice how I asked you to subscribe earlier in the episode? I was over there sitting on the stairs. Most people wait to the end of the video and their call to action is that. But what that does is it tells people to leave. It says, you know what? I'm all done. You can be all done with YouTube. See you later. See you tomorrow. You actually don't want to give any signals like that. So at the end of your videos, you either have a call to action to a lead magnet where if they are going to leave, they're going to your website, or you have a call to action that leads them to the next video that you recommend that they watch. So you might say something like this. Hey, now that you've learned A, B, and C in this video, if you want to learn X, Y, and Z, go watch this video next. You can point to it, you can tell them the title of the video, but that way they're not ending their YouTube session, they're actually continuing and going and watching another video that you recommend to them. I typically will recommend that we do 5 episodes that link to a lead magnet. So the call to action is to go to a lead magnet. The other 15 would link to those 5 videos. So it'd be, hey, if you've learned A, B, and C, you need to go watch this video next to learn X, Y, and Z. And then at that video, the call to action is the lead magnet. Now that you understand the strategy of how you could teach science online, I want to help you further. And I've created a free resource that I want to give to you. It's my Influencer Almanac. This is an online resource that I continually update and add more things to. It's got all the tips, the tools, and all the strategies I use to really leverage YouTube to teach online, to grow influence, and ultimately to bring in a lot of revenue for my business. So this resource is yours. Go ahead and click the link below and you can have access to it right now.